This episode of the Busted Wide Open podcast is brought to you by Blueberry. Blueberry offers the best media hosting, accurate listening stats, and their all-new PowerPress Deluxe sites, a no-setup WordPress website for your podcast with all the necessary links to share your show with the world built right in. If you currently produce a podcast and are looking for a better media host or looking to start a new one from scratch, head over to orbitaljigsaw.com/BWO and sign up for the best media hosting and a PowerPress Deluxe site to get your first month absolutely free. That's orbitaljigsaw.com/BWO, or just use the promo code BWO at checkout for your first month free. And with that said, enjoy the show.
Hello, this is the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, and you can't tell, but right now I'm dressed as Deacon and not the Fallen Angel because I'm at Waterworld, and you are listening to the Busted Wide Open podcast because there's degrees. There's a little bit busted open, but this is Busted Wide Open. You're listening to us, so thanks for listening.
You're listening to the Busted Wide Open podcast, dropping the elbow on the hottest topics in sports entertainment and the world of professional wrestling. With your hosts, Nick Howell and Sir Ian Dangerous. Coming to you from the Orbital Jigsaw Network Arena in sunny Southern California. Welcome back to the Busted Wide Open podcast, our Patron Mailbag series, episode number 36, I believe. Good God, have we been 36 weeks since October? Holy smokes, it's been a long. My name is Nick Howell.
And I am Sir Ian Dangerous, and that's right, this is our mailbag series. That means that you guys asked us questions, and we must answer them. And this is kind of an open format. We do mostly wrestling-related questions because this is a wrestling show, but hey, you're paying us your money, so you can ask us whatever the heck you want. This is open to patrons only, so that means if you are not a patron, you can't ask a question, but it's real easy to become a patron. You just head on over to patreon.com/BWO and sign up for one of our lovely tiers, and right away you'll be able to ask us questions on this show, which we would love to answer. This is always fun, Nick. I always enjoy doing these shows because we never know what's going to happen.
Yes.
This could go any which way, and yet you're testing us.
It's one of the favorite things we do every week.
It is. It is.
Guys, you all know where all the stuff is at this point, BWOpodcast.com. Make sure you're into our Discord because you don't want to miss the live chats for tomorrow night for WWE Backlash. That show looks like it's going to be a mess, which means the live chat is going to be lively. So
you're going to tear it apart.
Make sure you look in the description below to get access to our Discord, and you get in there. If you can't find it, if you're not watching on YouTube, if you're listening on the audio podcast at some point tomorrow, it's probably too late. But you can ask anybody on social media and find your way in there for live chats all throughout the week for every single show. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at BWO Podcast. Find your way over into the Facebook discussion group and patreon.com/BWO again to be able to ask your questions, get bonus episodes, all kinds of good stuff over there. But we're going to kick things off with a man who is obsessed with being first in everything recently. Our chats, our posts are Mr. Jacob Uhas always showing up as soon as I could put it up at 4 a.m. and Jacob would be the first one. I mean, that's some good work, sir. I appreciate that. He says, hey guys, what are some of your favorite finishers, men, women, and tag teams?
Ooh. You know what I've come around on the Crossroads / Blade Runner. I tend to like it more the way that Jay White does it.
Yeah.
It just feels more vicious and he really lays it in. But I've come around on it. And I think that, I don't know if Cody's been watching Jay White, but the one he delivered to Jungle Boy last week was phenomenal. It looked like he murdered him. The way that they twist around and come down on the head, it's great. So that's one I've come around on. Of all time, though, man, let me think about this.
I'll throw my men's one out there. It's the Destino from Naito. Destino!
Really? Oh, don't stop it, Kevin Kelly. It's pretty, but I don't know, for whatever, I prefer the Rainmaker. Just a good goddamn lariat. I'm always a sucker for you, whether it's a clothesline from hell or just the Stan Hansen lariato.
Yeah, right.
Just a really vicious clothesline always pops me. I used to love Sweet Chin music, but now everyone does super kicks, so I can't love it anymore.
Yeah. I felt the same way about Canadian destroyers, and now everybody has a destroyer. It used to look so vicious when Pentagon would do it, and now
it was a great whale hunter. I'm trying to remember the original name of Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is a really cool finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is a really good one.
That's a
Give
really.
him the
Remember
law.
the first time?
Seth.
I like the stomp too. Talk about a vicious finisher.
When it was set up properly as the Shield, and there was a buckle bomb involved, and it would always lead to a triple power bomb. Like when it was part of other things, now it just feels like it's overdone. It's overused.
Yeah, I like really unique looking finishers. Which is funny to say because I just said a lariat, but like if it's not a lariat, if it's not a simple move, I like really unique looking ones. When I was a kid, the DDT was my favorite because Jake the Snake, and it looked like a move that if you really used it on somebody, it would knock them out.
Yeah. Right?
Head to canvas, head to ground. If you use a DDT in real life, you could kill someone. So having realism behind a finisher always helps me too. Like again, I was talking about the Crossroads. It's essentially a fancy DDT.
Yeah. Marshall in the chat said End of Days. That's probably my second favorite, if not tied for first. I love that one. If it's done right, it looks brutal.
It's a swinging flatliner. I don't know. Flatliners don't quite do it for me. Right. I've seen flatliners be done well, but
says the guy that
you're rock bottoming yourself. Like what is this? And the rock bottom is, I don't know.
It looks net. Yeah, it's
anyway. I don't know. Yeah.
What about the women?
The women. You know what's weird? I love Carmella's Code of Silence. That's a cool looking finish. Choking people out with her leg is a cool one.
Rhea's Riptide has got to be probably my current favorite one.
I like her her elevated cloverleaf finishing move where she actually lifts them up. That's a really cool because it shows off how goddamn strong she is.
Yeah.
I think I actually prefer that as far as her finishers. I'm trying to think of what other. I mean, you've got to talk about the insane elbow. Yeah. Right? Literally the greatest elbow drop of all time. Sorry, Macho Man.
It's the thing that really put Hojo on the map,
Mm-hmm.
Was the way she kicks her legs out like that and just comes down. It's fantastic. That's a really good one.
It's a really fantastic one. Really great one. I'm trying to think of other women's finishers right now, and for some reason I'm blanking. Trying to go through Becky's got the armbar.
A lot of them are submission moves. I'm going through submission finishers. Yeah. I'm trying to stay away from submission finishers because there's such a vault of them.
What do you think about Charlotte's figure eight? Because
I've always liked that it was Rick's and she put her own spin on it, so it keeps them tied to the name of Flair. And I mean, Rick was the one that really took that one to the next level, and she amped it up by bridging into it. And I'll give her credit for that.
Right. So I like it in kayfabe, but the figure four leg lock is a kayfabe move.
Sure.
It doesn't do a goddamn thing in real life.
Sure.
And now that we're getting more into an era where there's lots of like MMA stuff coming into this, and everyone kind of knows the figure four is not a real move. It's not going to do a damn thing. Saying that it's the figure four, but with added torque because she's doing a bridge, is just the most insane kayfabery I can think of in women's finishers. And there's times it bothers me more than other times, but I just again, like in kayfabe, I agree with you. I love the fact she took her dad's move and she's like enhanced, like made a super move of it. From storyline kayfabe.
If you thought Ric Flair's figure four was bad, wait until you get into the figure eight.
Figure eight. Right. Oh, it's because it's twice as bad as the figure. Because it's 2 4s go into 8, and she's making like a circle, so it looks like. Get it? I don't know. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent there. It just struck me.
Did you name one yet?
For the women?
Yeah. That's not a submission.
Did I? That's not a submission.
Yeah. You said Rhea's inverted cloverleaf was cool.
It is, but that's a submission.
Yeah. You did say Hojo's elbow or Kyrie's elbow.
I said insane elbow. Yeah.
Kyle with the super chat already showing out. $5. Thank you, Kyle. You put the figure 4 on right, it hurts. Put the ankle just above the knee and it hurts. All right. I'll take your word for it.
It's not comfortable.
Right.
It's not. I've been in one. It's not comfortable. Your leg's not getting ripped off.
Right.
Like they sell it. It's like, oh God. I'll never be able to use my leg again. My knee's going to explode. That's all I'm saying.
The one that he asked about that I have a lot for is tag teams. I have 2 or 3 of these that are just my absolute favorites. I love combo moves.
Right.
So any sort of variation on the 3D.
The 3D, well, yeah, just
right?
an elevated
So you've
cutter.
got Shatter Machine.
That's also the Legion of Doom. You're talking about the Doomsday Device.
Doomsday Device.
Which is, Doomsday Device may be the greatest tag team finisher of all time because, dude, that was the most unsafe freaking move. They would close, like, you got one guy, in the electric chair position, and then you clothesline him. The number of times I've seen that move almost go horrible. And I think someone actually did get legit, like, messed up by it at one point. Maybe more than one point that I just heard about the one point. Like, that's a scary freaking move. Yeah. I've got to stick with Doomsday Device. That's like one of the greatest. That or 3D.
Yeah.
I'm with you, dude. Like that's like the compactor is cute. Then they do it really well, but god damn, dude, Doomsday Device just ended people's lives. You believed that was the end of the match.
Meltzer Driver's not bad. That's a pretty good one.
Meltzer Driver is goofy as hell. Get out of here.
All right.
What I don't like.
Oh, Super Collider. That's the other one I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Where they're basically doing they're cheersing each other before they powerbomb.
It never looks bad enough. You know what I mean? It never looks like hitting each other sucks. It just kind of like
if they gave a little last ride or a spirit bomb oomph to it by lifting them up and then power bombing them or sitting out to power bomb, something like that. I don't know.
I don't like tag team finishers where one person is assisting the other person in a move that's already devastating. You know what I mean? Like what is it? Not the Brain Buster, the Mind Exploder, or whatever the heck, the Mind Breaker. Mind Breaker that the FTR are doing right now. It's a pile driver.
Yeah.
It's an assisted pile driver. And great. They did a great job. It looked great. But there's and the Meltzer driver too, there's always something where the other guy coming down and kind of like gently brushing the feet or legs of the person who's being dropped. Like, they're not really driving them as well.
Toe tapping their cheeks.
Because you'll kill them. Yeah. You can't. Like, you got to be careful with this. So it always looks a little bit weak.
Yeah.
The one person who's assisting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just, yeah. So, little nitpick. Me, wrestling. Me.
It'll never get better than 3D through a table. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
If only they could have done a Doomsday Device through a table.
And here you are talking about what an unsafe move it is, and you want to introduce tables to. Actually, it might break the fall if they did. It's not a bad idea. Thank you very much, Jacob. Thanks for always being on point, man. Next up, Abraham, gentleman of the West, gentleman of the East. I salute you.
We salute you, Abraham.
Yes.
We speak your name.
If there was a remake of No Holds Barred, who would play the role of Rip? Who would play Zeus?
Oh, man.
Who's Rip? Who's Zeus? You decide. AEW or WWE or a mix of both. You can even throw in some new characters for color and drama and more action. Of course, we all know who would play Brell. Nick. Because of Nick booking being the best thing ever and the epic stories it can tell in great Oscar-winning wrestling movies. Thank you, Abraham. Appreciate it. You just
Hogan
set
and
off
Zeus.
Surrey and Dangerous too.
Hogan and Zeus. So who plays Hogan? Who plays Zeus? I mean, I'm trying to think who's even in the realm of how
Lashley.
Bizarre and scary Tony Lister is.
I mean, not quite as scary, but he could probably pull it off as Bobby Lashley.
What?
Big E Langston?
Oh, Bobby God, I thought you said Bobby Roode.
No. What? How did you get
I don't
Roode
know. That's
out of
why
Lashley?
it was weird. I was like, Bobby Roode as Zeus?
No.
What are you? Oh, Bobby Lashley. Yeah, he looks like what if Tony Lister hadn't had some sort of genetic defects, he would look like Bobby Lashley. Like, he's got he's weird and lumpy. He got the eye.
I think Big E might even be a better choice than Lashley.
If you give Big E the lazy eye, he would be great.
Yeah.
As that. And I think he'd be able to play up how freaking bizarre Zeus was. Yeah. Like he actually would do that.
Yeah.
That was amazing. By the way, I want to put it out there. I love Tony Lister as an actor and as a person, so don't misconstrue.
That's my bite.
I always think of him as the president in Fifth Element too.
Oh,
but
God, yes.
No, I was actually thinking if we did a colorblind casting and Lance Archer played Zeus and maybe Lashley is Hogan. No, I'm trying to think who you could have. Or maybe Big E is Hogan. Hey, I'd watch that movie.
Okay, you have my attention.
I'd buy that for $1.
I love all of you that get all of these pop culture film references too, by the way. I could get behind that, man.
Yeah, Asian Dawn. Good God.
Yeah. Big E, No, Lance Archer and Big E is Hogan? Is that what you said?
Hey, Smokey back here taking a shit.
Yeah, Big E is Hogan.
I'll
Big E
clean
is
that
Hogan
up for you
versus
for
Lance.
$10.
Damn. Yeah, why not? Big E is Hogan. Lance Archer is Zeus. There you go.
Done.
I'm watching that movie.
There you go.
I'm in.
Thank you very much, Abraham. Next up, Sean asks, hope everyone out there is the innovator of the mop himself right here, Mr. Sean Clark, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everyone out there is hanging in. The world's crazy tough, so don't get down on yourself. If you see how positive this dude is. No wonder he came up with a moment of positivity. God, we love you, Sean. Thank you so much. Don't get down on yourself. If you find yourself feeling down, reach out to people you care about. Surround yourself with love. I promise it will help. It does. I agree. True. What are some of your favorite swerves of all time? I feel like when it's done right, it's one of the best things in wrestling, although it's not often done right. Take care, guys.
It's a plot twist. Plot twists are always awesome.
It was me. It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
McMahon and Ministry of Darkness, I don't know if I'd call
That's
that
the worst.
best.
It's not the worst. Stone Cold heel turn was the worst of all time. But the McMahon is the higher power is up there with just...
I think one of the best executed that nobody saw coming was Seth's turn on the Shield.
Yeah, the Seth Shield heel turn / heist of the century swerve at the end of WrestleMania 31. Yeah. WrestleMania 31.
Nice.
The combo, the Seth combo, the double tap of Seth that year, turning on the Shield and then cashing in at Mania. That was a couple of fantastic swerves. I can tell you right now, it's one of the loudest pops I ever freaking heard in my life. Andre turning on, any heel turn moments, Andre turning on Hogan, Orndorff turning on Hogan.
Hogan at Bash of the Beach, man.
Dude, no, one of the greatest swerves / turns of all time. Mark Henry's retirement speech.
Oh, God.
He had us all.
Listen, I was crying.
Hook, line, and sinker. He was crying.
Tears running down my face.
Crying. Oh, my God, that was good. That was a good one. The salmon jacket. You son of a bitch. That's got to be in there. That's got to be. Yeah. And I'm just thinking about we were talking about Seth going on a tear of swerves. Brock went on a tear of swerves. Beating Taker, squashing Cena. There was a bunch of just right at the beginning
leaving
of
WWE initially after the first couple of years,
That was he left WWE every time he had a match.
Well, you know what I'm referring to, though.
I know what you're referring to. But yeah, there's some good swerves.
There were a lot of good ones. And there were a lot of bad ones. Thank you.
Rock turning heel way back in the day. Your boy The Rock turning when he first became
corporate Rock.
Corporate champion. Yeah,
I didn't hate that though because he was already over AF. He had reached tweener status at that point. I was fine with it. Whatever. Yeah. Thank you very much, Sean Clark. Next up, Yardy from across the pond. He says, Bonsoir, monsieur.
Sorry, real quick.
Oh.
Jacob threw a good one in here. The Festival of Friendship / Shawn Michaels and Jericho. Those two good swerves.
Well, that was
Going
that
through
was
the- going
Jay,
through the
not
trunks.
Jacob. Jacob said Kenta going to Bullet Club.
Oh, the Kenta swerve with Shibata. Oh, that ruined me, Jacob. That ruined me. Oh, Jacob said, "Why is my name on this?" Jay said Festival, and then Jacob was
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay. You're right.
That was a good one. All right, so Yardi, bonsoir, monsieur. I just finished the
Bonsoir.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I liked it. So my question is, what video game would you like to see remade from the ground up? I'm typically averse to remakes, but I will say I am currently playing the Command & Conquer Remastered, and I'm in 4K, and I'm loving every second of it. The original Command & Conquer and Red Alert RTS strategy games. So before I got into first-person shooters and played Unreal Tournament and Quake 3 Team Arena and played those all sort of semi-professionally and competitively, I was really into RTS games, so like Warcraft, StarCraft, Command & Conquer, Age of Empires, all of those. And I was obsessed. So we've had Age of Empires get remade, and we just got Command & Conquer remade. The big one for me, Yardi, and they have announced that they are working on this, is Diablo 2. We've been waiting on that one for years. They've been buried under controversy of Diablo 3 for the last pretty much decade, and they have announced that they are officially doing a full remaster ground up of Diablo 2. If there was one game besides World of Warcraft that I have lost years of my life to, it's Diablo 2. That's mine.
No kidding, dude. I lied. I spent way too much time on Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, and now I see Diablo 4 coming out, and I'm like, oh God, no.
Yes.
I've got a show to do, man. I can't be having no Diablo in here.
Yeah.
It's so I'm getting it. I'm getting the one that I wanted. They're remastering Demon Souls. So I get my wish. If there was another one, I want them to remaster Dead Space. Bring back my Dead Space.
Soul Reaver series.
Soul Reaver. Never mind, Nick. You took it. Boom,
Azrael
right there.
and Kane and all of that
Dude.
gameplay was amazing.
Start with Legacy of Kane and then go straight into Soul Reaver. And finish the game.
Yeah.
Because they released the original Soul Reaver unfinished. They cut out an entire level because they couldn't finish in time. It was an unfinished game, and they had to quick the ending. It just kind of stops. And they, the next two were really good. And their Legacy of Kane sequel was pretty good too around that time. But oh, dude, you're so right.
Soul Reaver 2 is still in my top 3 all-time games I've ever played.
It was so good. The plot was outstanding. The voice acting.
And you had the guy playing the old god that he went to.
I was going to say, I forget his name, but his voice is all-time.
I can see his face. I've met him.
Yep, the huge nose.
Yeah.
That's the only way he could get that voice out of that thing, was he had this gigantic nasal cavity. It was he's like a walrus. It was, okay, so there you go. I'm getting Demon Souls, but Dead Space and freaking Soul Reaver, Nick.
Okay.
You killed it.
Marshall is dropping big ones in the chat. Ocarina of Time, I would mark the hell out if they redid that one.
I feel like we kind of got it with Breath of the Wild. Like, people forget Ocarina of Time was a pain in the ass to play.
It was.
For some parts.
It was. Other mentions, GoldenEye, GTA 3. You know what?
Yeah.
It would be really easy for Rockstar to upscale and remaster the whole franchise of GTA. It'd be a cash cow if they did it.
See, that's the thing. It's like when they remastered Call of Duty 4, and I was like, why?
Yeah. Now they're doing Battlefield 3 now.
Every year you do a new Call of Duty game, and it's essentially a reskin of the previous game. It'd be like remaking WWE 2K15. It's like, why? Why remake that?
Yeah.
Why remake GTA 3? We've got GTA 5. It's essentially this. It's just the same thing but bigger and better.
If
it's essentially a remake.
Hi Rockstar, if you're listening, longtime GTA player and fan. I think the thing that they could do that would really blow up GTA would be to combine all the worlds into one larger MMO. And we've got GTA 5 online, and we had the same thing with GTA 4. But if they somehow enabled you to drive between cities and play all of the missions all at one time in the same MMO space. Think World of Warcraft, but for Grand Theft Auto. And all the characters intertwined somehow. And they put new quests and new layers on top of all of it together. Build a big-ass MMO out of the Grand Theft Auto enterprise. The heist thing kind of fell on deaf ears, but at the same time, I think they could totally redo that as a sort of raid dungeon kind of thing that they do in other MMOs. There's so much potential with Grand Theft Auto, and I feel like we've only scratched the surface of what they could do with that game. So, Thank you, Yardy. Good question. I could talk about that one for hours.
We could.
Next up, Jonathan asks, if you could for a minute put on the tinfoil hat and fantasy book any match you wanted today, what would it be? You can only book a wrestler who is still alive. They can be retired, and you can be cross-brand, but they have to be alive. Any stipulation with any amount of talent. If I may, my top three. Well, he's going to do his. Well, let's do ours real quick before I read those out loud.
No, read his.
Read his? Okay.
What he's doing.
Yeah. His top three would be Cody versus Triple H in a no-holds-barred match. Elimination Chamber match, Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, Keith Lee, Mark Henry, and Big Show. I would watch the absolute hell out of that. And you know all of those guys are going through chambers.
Because you love them big boys.
Yep. Finally, Tessa Blanchard versus Charlotte Flair in the greatest wrestling match ever. With a winky face. Nice. Yeah, Charlotte wouldn't lose, but... Charlotte Flair with Rick ringside, with Tessa with Tully ringside. That could be interesting.
Tanahashi versus Cena. Boom. That's... No, I don't need any other frills. Tanahashi versus Cena.
Yeah.
You could even make it a series, have one in the Tokyo Dome and one at Madison Square Garden. I don't know. Two all-time generational stars would be awesome.
I feel like we had Omega Okada,
Daniel Bryan. I'd still watch the crap out of that.
I mean, I would have loved before yesterday. One of my dream matches that were on my list were modern day Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And we just got it. And it was
boom.
Really
it was
good.
Boom.
Yeah. So what is the question? You can only book tinfoil hat and fantasy book any match you wanted today. What would it be? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny how little time I spend thinking about this. and I mean that in the nicest way possible. We're so stuck in modern times and news and what's happening now, and when I take a second to step back,
yeah,
I would love to see at his peak Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens.
Here's a left field one. And it's modern, and I mean it could happen if things go sideways on SmackDown. But Matt Riddle versus Jake Hager in a cage.
Damn.
Be down for that. I'm not a dream
proper
match,
shoot fight.
Yeah. Have him go. Let him work a little bit. Kind of like Riddle and Thatcher. Just let him. Yeah. Let him go.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jonathan. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Next up, Martin asked. He's doing Italian now.
Uh-huh.
I'm not even gonna try.
Ciao, signori.
Ciao, signori.
Ciao, signori.
I'm trying to. Bella. I'm trying to better myself by learning Italian.
Bella Lugosi.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I didn't say.
Bella Lugosi.
I'm trying to better myself by learning Italian. Anyway, I hope you're both well and staying safe and at least a little sane. I have a wrestling question and a not-so-wrestling one. Wrestling question is, at TakeOver, Keith Lee wrestled the traditional big man kind of style. Do you think that was to show Vince he isn't just a spot monkey ready for his call-up? Also, when he is called up, should he go with Mia Yim as a group?
Let's answer this one first.
Yeah.
Keith Lee got into NXT by putting on straightforward wrestling matches.
Yep.
Regal actually asked him to work a straightforward match with Cassius Ohno. And no flips, none of that stuff, to work a match. So they know Keith can do that. And in fact, some of his first matches, when he wasn't working with Dijak, were big man style.
Right.
And he has been talking to guys like Mark Henry and stuff like that on Big Show on how to work big man style, which is, very different from what all the things he can do. So when he's working with other big guys who are also athletic, like Dijak, it's one of the reasons why he and Dijak are so great together, because they can both do these insane things and they can help each other do them. But he can do that, or he can go work the way he did with Johnny Gargano, which is this like lumbering beast. And the fact that he could transition so seamlessly is why Keith is such a hot prospect and a blue chip in WWE. Here's the thing. It's been noted that Vince does not watch NXT. He may watch clips. He doesn't watch it. He's not sitting there picking apart wrestlers and how they perform in NXT. So it was more, I think, to show the viewers that Keith wasn't just one gear. He's got several different modes he can work in.
Yeah.
I think it was to show us. I think it was to show everybody out there, like, when they first had Keith debut before he got injured, he was working a slower style, a bigger man style, and hiding all the tricks he could do. When they brought him back and he finally got his second push, they were like, Keith, go out there and get over. Do your crazy moves. And that's what got him over with the crowd, was doing the big, gifable, memeable moment things. And now they can pull it back, and we all love Keith Lee. And he can do like one big, pounce through the plexiglass in the match, and everything else is him just working big man.
Yeah.
And kind of lumbering around. And we'll go there with him because he's already over.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think it's for us.
When he's called up, I think he's going by himself. I don't think Mia's. I think Mia's on. If this keeps up, and this might shock some people, I think Mia's the next one potentially in line for the NXT Women's Championship. I mean, she's got to run at it.
I think you're wrong, but
fair enough.
I don't see them. I don't see them coming up as a pair. No.
I think Keith's going to the Royal Rumble next year.
Keith is his own. He's his own act, and I think it might actually detract from him to go up with Mia Yim. I could see it happening. I just don't think it will.
I think I called my Drew shot last summer initially, so I'll call my shot.
You call your Keith shot?
I'll call my Keith shot. Keith Lee win the Royal Rumble next January.
You're not winning it. No. He might be in it. He probably will be in the Royal Rumble. He's not going to win it.
Yeah. So now the other question: you've been hired by WWE. Sasha Banks. You've been hired by WWE to cast the voices for the new Transformers movie.
Oh.
You need an Optimus Prime, Jazz, Ironhide, Vector Sigma.
Oh my God!
Megatron, Soundwave, Starstream. Okay, that's a lot of.
You need all of them. You need all of them.
Yeah. Just have Peter. What's Cullen? Just do all of them.
Peter Cullen.
Just all of them.
There's a reason he's still doing Optimus Prime's voice. There's a reason. No one else can voice Optimus Prime. When he dies, Prime dies. Yep. For real this time. Not like Transformers the movie, which disturbed me as a kid greatly. Yep. That being said, there is only one man who can be Unicron. Not Orson Welles. Although he was great as Unicron. Damian Priest.
Yes.
Has to be Unicron.
Yes. Full
stop. Sami Zayn should be Starscream.
Yes.
Just that loud and annoying.
Big E should be Jazz. Why? What? Because he's loud and obnoxious and he's got that kind of swagger.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Ironhide. Arn Anderson.
All right.
Arn Anderson should be Ironhide. I don't know who Vector Sigma is.
I don't either. Soundwave. Who's got a computerized voice?
Soundwave will be played by Michael Cole.
Nice.
We need a Megatron. Vince McMahon.
That's not bad, actually. That'd actually be really.
Damn you, Optimus Prime!
Exactly.
I'll get you next time.
What are you going to do? That's pretty close, actually. That's really good. I would watch
I mean,
that.
Vince would also be a good. What was the name of the bad guy in Inspector Gadget?
Oh God.
I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
Oh.
That guy with the
Stroking his cat.
Yeah.
Bring Gadget to me.
Yeah, I forget the name of him. Claw.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah, the big glove stroking the cat.
Dr. Claw.
Dr.
Whatever
Claw.
It was. Yeah, Vince should be that guy.
Nice.
I'll get you next time, Gadget. Anyway.
Thank you very much, Martin. Great questions. Next up, Billy asks, hey, my guys, I need to buy some merch from you, but I can't. Not until you answer this 2-part question.
Ooh, okay. Bring it
What
on.
horror movie/movie did you go into hearing tons of praise for that you absolutely hated? And what
The Conjuring. F The Conjuring. F all of the Conjuring movies. Die, Blumhouse, die.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah. It's all about A24. Blumhouse can die.
Yeah. And what horror movie/movie that's got a bad reputation do you feel needs more credit? For me, I went into Hereditary expecting greatness. I found an easy nap each time I watched. And of course, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is a brilliant work of art.
Amen.
Now to decide
Preach.
what to buy.
Preach. Hallelujah.
Thank you, Billy.
I'm definitely a member of the Halloween 3 cult. I've actually got the poster on my wall right over there.
What horror movies got tons of praise? I did not enjoy The Quiet Ones.
The Quiet Ones or A Quiet Place?
The Quiet Place. Thank you.
A Quiet Place. Right.
I wanted to. We love The Office. I love Emily Blunt.
Maybe that's the problem. You went in thinking John Krasinski is going to be like the Office, and then you're like, oh, this is not like The Office at all.
I appreciate it as a sort of, it had a lot of indie feel and vibe to it, and I love that. But it just didn't get over the hump. There were a couple of really good moments, but it just,
I liked it except for how absolutely stupid everybody was in that movie. Everyone was so dumb.
Right.
The stupid kids.
JB and I are going to be at odds. She says Quiet Place was amazing.
You had one rule. You have to be quiet, and you can't even do that. No, I liked Quiet Place a lot, but I definitely was just like, a lot of that old horror movie, like, you're being stupid, screaming at the screen kind of thing. You know what? Okay. I just cursed out Blumhouse. And I think I'm actually going to call out these two because they bucked the trend. Sinister and Oculus.
Okay.
Are awesome. The first
I
Sinister,
loved Oculus.
The second Oculus is awesome.
That was like some shit we hadn't seen before. I love that.
And it was, and it's I'm forgetting the name of the director. He begins with an M. But he also did Gerald's Game. He's really good. And this is why he edits his own movies. He's really good at multiple timelines happening at once, and reality and blending and points of view and whether we're seeing through the character's eyes or not, that is brilliant how he's able to do all those things. So definitely got to throw some love from Oculus. Also, you've got what's her name from the Marvel movies plays the main female lead. Dang it. She was also in the new Jumanji movies.
You're thinking of Mike Flanagan, by the way, for Oculus.
Mike Flanagan. He was an M.
Thank you, Google.
Mike Flanagan. Thank you, Google. And she played Nebula in the Marvel movies, and she's the main character in Oculus. Names today are not my friend. But Sinister is badass, even though the bad guy looks like the guitarist from Slipknot, and it's stupid as hell how he looks. That movie is so goddamn scary. If you don't jump at that movie, you're in a coma.
Yeah.
Sinister's awesome. Ethan Hawke, one of the greatest reacting actors out there.
Yeah.
If you watch his acting, he is so good at reacting to things. It's why he was great in Training Day. He helped Denzel Washington win that Oscar because it was all about how he was selling Denzel Washington. That's way harder to do. So I got to give some love to those movies because they were made by Blumhouse. And another one, 30 Days of Night. My God, I love that movie. That is a slept-on vampire. It's one of my favorite vampire movies of all time.
Yep.
It is just mean.
Fantastic.
And it's a bit of a sappy ending, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. That movie's bad ass. Full stop.
All you guys talking about U-Bowl in the chat. We're just going to universally agree with you.
Karen Gillan. Thank you, Will.
Okay. Karen Gillan. Yes.
Karen Gillan. Damn it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Billy. And yes, the hat tip to Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Fantastic. Next up, Esme.
Uwe Ball can eat a dick.
Yeah.
I hate Uwe Ball.
House
of the Dead? Ugh. Try to remake that video.
I'm still trying to get over Doom.
Haute garbage.
Esme.
With the rock. Yeah.
Just awful.
Ugh.
So much potential in that universe.
Carl Urban too.
Right.
You wasted Carl Urban. Yep. He didn't get to be a badass like that until the remake of Dredd, which is freaking awesome, by the way. Yeah. All right, we're going off on movies. We got to get back to wrestling.
Esme Booby Champ. I hope you're enjoying your grit.
Grits. She got the grits.
Yes. Salutations, pod nominal ones. Nice twist.
Hello.
I missed this episode because I'm working today, but am looking forward to listening to it later. I have one question.
We love you. We miss you.
Is Mystery Men the best superhero movie of the 90s? Up until that point, Marshall, I guess, sorry, Esme, I'm cutting off your question. Marshall with the merch purchase of a BWO logo tee.
Oh!
One of the OG throwback logos, too, man.
Nice.
I knew I kept those on there for a reason. Enjoy that, Marshall. Thank you very much. Much obliged. I hope you enjoyed the Nick Guard 1 delivery here live on stream. All right. Back to Esme's question. Is Mystery Men the best superhero movie of the 90s?
Mm-hmm.
X-Men was in 2000. So that...
Yes.
Yeah.
She's actually... Okay, read the rest of the question.
I am. Up until that point, the Christopher Reeve Superman was considered the best superhero movie, and that was in the 70s. X-Men hit in 2000, and we were off to the races. But what about Mystery Men? Shouldn't that always be included in the best superhero movies of all time? Or at the very least, best superhero movie in the 90s. Thank you, guys. In these less than stellar times, I always look forward to your podcast. Brightens up my day and offers a much-needed distraction. You guys are the best at what you do. It's quality, not quantity. Shout out to the pod fam as well over in the Discord. Y'all are true class, and I have nothing but love for all of you.
Love the love. Love you guys. Mystery Men is an amazing movie. It's freaking hilarious. Way before its time. It bombed because no one got it. If it had came out after all the Marvel movies had come out, it would have been huge and everyone would have laughed their ass off. The cast is absolutely insane. The cast in that movie is out of control. You even have Tom Waits in that movie, and any movie with Tom Waits is automatically good in my book. So, yes, Mystery Men is an amazing movie, but it's also a comedy. And it works as a superhero film, but one of the reasons why it kind of got overlooked in the history of superhero films is because it is a goof. And it's for the same reason that The Tick just can't seem to get a show off the ground. It was the cartoon was the best The Tick ever did because people automatically knew what it was, but they just can't seem to make The Tick a live action show. And you even had Patrick Warburton as The Tick, which is one of the greatest castings of all time, by the way.
Mystery Men to me is not the best. What are we classing? Best superhero movie? It's Blade for me in the 90s.
Batman Mask of the Phantasm. I can also throw in The Crow. The Crow would be up there as well.
Is that a superhero movie?
Absolutely. Crow's a superhero, kind of.
Crow's fantastic.
But I mean,
I wouldn't have considered that one in that category.
If we're talking about movies based on comic books, Darkman counts as well.
Darkman is brilliant. Liam Neeson at his best. Oh my God.
Liam Neeson, yeah, that counts. The Mask with Jim Carrey. The Mask is a superhero.
Fair.
I said The Crow. Spawn.
Very underrated film.
The special effects are absolute garbage now, but whatever.
John Leguizamo's best role ever.
And also, Batman Returns was 90s. Batman Returns with Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito as Penguin,
I believe, wasn't it?
Michelle Pfeiffer as the best Catwoman ever put on film. Fight me.
Is Terminator considered a superhero movie? Terminator 2?
No, because it's not based on a comic book. I'm saying like superheroes based on comic.
Okay, so these had to. Okay, fair. I'm gonna stick with Blade.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, also 90s. Blade's a good one. Blade is definitely a good one.
Blade 2 especially is.
Tank Girl.
Okay.
Thinking of Shotzi Blackheart.
Now we're just
here.
getting silly.
Tank Girl. Okay, fine. No,
love Lori
we'd be
Petty.
getting silly if I
but yeah.
if I said the Phantom or the Shadow, we'd be getting silly.
Yeah, fine. Thank you very much, Esme.
Or Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Was Dick Tracy 90s or was it 80s? Warren Beatty and Madonna. Al Pacino.
No, it was 90s.
Was it?
Yeah, 92
There
if
you go.
I'm not mistaken.
There you go. That's a great one. That
That is a really good one. Al Pacino
holds up
as,
really well.
Bugsy. What was it Bugsy?
I don't remember.
Yeah. He was fan. He had all the
All I know is the
makeup
art
on and stuff.
The art direction was insane
Yeah,
in that
it was.
movie.
Really, really good stuff. Thank you for the kind words too, Esme. Really appreciate it. Brian Lake, new patron this week. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Welcome to the Phenomenal Ones. He says, "What's up, Phenomenal Ones? Who wins? Hell in a Cell. Chucky versus Leprechaun versus Stripe from Gremlins versus Hornswoggle. Who wins inside Hell in a Cell?"
The Leprechaun. He's got magic, and his magic is all over the place in those movies, man. He's able to like there was some movies where he was like blowing things up and like turning people big or small. Like he's able to do all. He's got magic. What is Chucky, who's a doll, gonna do to that?
I'm gonna give Chucky the flyer here, honestly, because he's literally a flyer. He's the high flyer, so he benefits from being in a cell. He can jump off the places and just stab you, and you're done.
The Leprechaun could turn the cell into a bunch of flowers. Like he's way OP for this match.
That's fair. But what if we had a no magic stipulation? I guess Hell in a Cell is a no holds barred match, so it's whatever.
Theoretically, Chucky and Stripe could team up on the Leprechaun.
True.
One of them could distract him while the other one kills him. And then they kill each other, and then Hornswoggle crawls out from under the ring, and he wins Hell in a Cell. Just saying, he lives under the ring.
Jay in the chat said Leprechaun is the Fiend, or Bray. I guess
he's the Bray Wyatt. Yeah. How are you gonna beat him?
Yeah.
He's completely OP.
Yeah.
Totally
good
OP.
Point.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard, Brian. Thank you for the question.
But let's all face it. The little weird demons from the gate would actually beat anybody.
The Ghoulies.
No, not the Ghoulies. The little weird demons from the gate. The Ghoulies live in the toilet. They're not even.
Chud.
The Chud. What?
The cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller.
I'm doing underground dwellers. I'm saying like they got to be little things though. Little guys. That was the whole point of this. God, Nick, get on board.
Oh, thank you very much, Brian. I hope you enjoyed that. And welcome to the Phenomenal Ones, and thank you for your support.
Welcome. Thank you.
Next up, Josh asks, getting in late this week, but here it goes. With the return of New Japan, what are some feuds and or matches you're hoping to see in the coming months? Man, it is all about New Japan Cup right now. I cannot think about anything and the outcomes of that heading into the G1 in a few months.
I need more Ospreay Okada. I need those guys to continue their feud, their rivalry. They're like big brother, little brother.
Like Ospreay, Jacked Ospreay 2.0. Like what we're
Ospreay needs to come back and be like, I'm the senpai now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one. I want to see more of Kenta running wild on people. I feel like he's primed to have a breakout second half of the year. I hope they were setting stuff up with him.
Yep. Him entering the G1 last year as a junior heavy and a few others at that, and then him coming out and committing. Was it at the end of Best of Super Juniors where he said he made that commitment to New Japan, or he announced it? And I just feel like the last year has been all about building him up and bulking him up physically, literally and figuratively. And yeah, if we can get some I think Ibushi's going to have a fantastic 2020 through the rest of the year.
You give me some more. Yeah, you give me Ibushi and Jacked Ospreay. You've got my attention too.
Yes, please.
Like,
put it in my eye holes.
I'm just very curious what Jacked Ospreay does to everyone down there. Once he comes back, I'm looking forward to, like we mentioned it, I think last week on the show, or at some point we talked. Well, I think we talked about the news show. I mentioned it. Like it's going to be like Triple H coming back to Madison Square Garden after he came back from the quad surgery.
Right. And
he was just a house. Yeah. He was just I'm waiting for that first time that Ospreay gets in the ring and takes off the robe and everyone just goes, Nani? Nandesu ka? With Ospreay. Jack to this. He's huge. Yoked. I want, the other thing is I want to see Moxley face more people. I want Moxley to come back and face more talent there. I feel like I'm more interested in Death Rider than I am in AEW Mox.
That's a good point.
So I'd love him to come back and have a bunch of feuds with people. And I want to see Naito defend.
Yeah.
Like he's faced everybody. How does his story end? I feel like we've reached the pinnacle, the end of the third act. Where do we go from here with Naito?
Well, for those of you that might have missed it earlier in the week, I did predict Hiromu after that moment we had.
Yeah, you did, because Nick booking is always in effect. You called Hiromu to win the New Japan Cup, which is the craziest goddamn thing I've ever heard.
Okay.
I also, what else I want? And this, if you want some Ian booking,
sure.
I need Sonata or Evil to turn on Los Ingobernables, and I want to see some like Jannetty, Shawn Michaels shit go down between Evil and Sonata.
Which one do you think is the Jannetty?
Well, I don't think either is the Jannetty. But as far as who turns heel,
yeah.
I mean, Evil, right? He's evil. But Sonata has more reason to.
Yeah.
He's kind of, always getting left behind on shit. But Evil could also make that argument too. I'm always in your shadow. You're the pretty one. F you. And Sonata can be over there like, dude, you bang Io Shirai on the regular. What are you mad about?
Right.
So, be a great feud.
Nice. Yeah, Josh, mostly I'm looking forward to see what happens in New Japan Cup. And the outcomes of that, I think, are going to set the tone. There's a lot of little story matches and feuds that could come out of that entire bracket. There's 3 or 4 of them. I'm looking at my bracket right now. There's 3 or 4 of them that I'm going, yep, more of that. And that's what whenever New Japan does tournaments like the G1 or the New Japan Cup, that's what it's all about. Is like, how are we going to set the stage for the rest of the year and beyond? How are we going to get to Wrestle Kingdom in 6 months? It's June, guys. We got 6 months to Wrestle Kingdom. We got the G1 in 4 months. Oh,
everyone's
God.
like, 2020 is horrible. I'm like, no, New Japan's coming back.
Yes,
we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
We're halfway through it. Let's just
give me my G1.
If you be quiet, the 2020 will just go away quicker.
I mean, we were mad that the G1 got pushed back for the Olympics. Now it's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Oh man, thank you very much, Josh. Next up, Mark asks, what is a match that has been better in repeat viewings? For example, Undertaker Brock at 30 was disappointing at best when it happened live. However, looking back at it, knowing what we know now with Undertaker's concussion in the course of of course the outcome, it gives the match new meaning. What was a disappointing match between 2 legends that becomes a story of a broken down man fighting for his life? Oh, sorry, I said that wrong. What was a disappointing match between 2 legends becomes a story of a broken down man fighting for his life in the twilight years of his career. Again, what are some matches that you guys feel have gotten better with repeat viewings?
Naito losing to Okada at Wrestle Kingdom a year or 2 ago, obviously in context now, is brilliant. And it was a fantastic match. And having him lose in that way and then everything else he had to go through. It's just New Japan's on my mind right now, so that popped into my head. We're like, I went back and appreciate that match more now because of the context of history. And what Mark is saying here with the context of Undertaker and Brock, especially if you're watching Last Ride, that match becomes such a big deal. And we can debate all day whether or not Undertaker should have lost the streak. I know Arn Anderson came out recently and said he shouldn't have.
I don't think he should have. I'll openly say I don't think he should have.
He shouldn't have lost to Brock there?
No.
How does he finish that match? And I mean,
I don't know.
How do you? If you look at him psychologically, if you watch Last Ride, and obviously it's a documentary, they can, make whatever reality they want. But that, when you watch that, you kind of get the sense that he needed to get his ass kicked there and to get concussed and to lose that match and lose his mojo a bit to have this research and have like the kind of
what we've got in the last 5 years.
Right. Which has been varying dividends.
Yeah.
But
I do think he should
everyone's
have retired and stayed retired after the Roman
after
match,
Roman
when he
Reigns.
put all his gear in the ring with the spotlight.
It was too perfect.
It was
too perfect.
picture perfect retirement kind of thing.
Yeah. Match is better in repeat viewings. So that's what we're talking about here. We could talk about Undertaker all day, and maybe at some point we will. But
he says, what was a
match...
disappointing match between two legends? That no,
he's just describing that one. He's saying what was a match?
What are some matches you feel
have
gotten better with repeat viewings?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
mean, they're legends because they're legends. I'm having trouble going back and finding a match that I disliked that would have gotten better. I mean, we've had several iterations of... Is
it specifically... I mean...
What are some matches that you guys feel have gotten better with
See, I can think of matches where, like, every time I watch it, I appreciate it more.
Sure.
And like it more. I mean, for a recent example, I've watched Ospreay Takagi like 10 times. And every time it gets better.
Yeah.
The same with some of the Okada Omega matches, where I pick up more. And I see more of the subtle little things they drop in there, the storytelling, because there's so much going on in them. I pick up more from them. And actually, if I'm thinking about it that way, if you think about something like Hell in a Cell, the Mankind Undertaker Hell in a Cell, I've watched that match over 100 times. I've watched that match more than any other match in my life, because it is such a goddamn train wreck.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating. It's a fascinating car crash. And it's every time I find a new nuance. Maybe it's the same thing as the Taker Brock match, where once someone's legit injured, you're like looking for how does it continue? Like, what are they thinking in this match? Right? Maybe that's it. But every time I watch Hell in a Cell, I get something else out of it. I get a little nuance. I didn't even see Finkel's reaction to Foley going off the top of the cell until just like the last time I watched it, recently.
Wow.
I saw a GIF of Finkel reacting to Foley hit the table, and it's brilliant. And a little nuance I never noticed before. So that's one that, like, I don't know, maybe it's not fair for me to say that. It doesn't get better every time. I get more out of it.
3 Stages of Hell match.
That's a great one.
Triple H and Stone Cold, and I much like you were just describing, I noticed more. They're slow and plotting kind of workers anyway, so it's hard to miss some stuff, but you do. I love going back and watching legendary matches. 25.
They're measured.
Taker and Shawn Michaels, what I consider to be arguably the best match of all time.
God.
That match is rewatchable as AF, right?
Here's a good one. Jericho Michaels at Mania. Did not really care about that match at the time.
No.
Now I look back at it and it's amazing.
Yeah. It's
such a good match. Such good storytelling, such good psychology. That's one that's gotten better every time I watch it.
If you haven't watched Michaels versus Taker at 25, they've had several of them at that point. Several big matches between the two of them. That's my favorite. That might be my favorite match of all time. That's one of them. It's fantastic.
Strong case to be made for it.
Yep. It's hard to beat Okada Omega, though. Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, it is. Of course it is.
And whenever I go back and watch Omega Okada, I always have to watch all of them. Like, I always have to do I have to feel the story. It's almost like if I sat down and watched Blade, I have to watch all 3 Blades. If I sit down and watch Fellowship of the Ring, I have to sit down and watch all 3 movies.
Okay, that one I got you on. But Blade? You have to watch all 3 Blades?
Well,
even the third one?
At least the first 2.
The first 2, I got you. The
first
third
2
one,
I treat like one movie, almost. I'll put it on while I'm working on something or editing something.
Weird ass.
Anyway, I always have to watch things in succession. Harry Potter movies. If I'm watching Harry Potter, I have to watch all the Harry Potter movies.
Marshall in the chat says Kane versus Strowman versus Lesnar. Definitely go back looking for the spot where Strowman pisses off Lesnar. Yeah, because he kneed him in the head.
Yeah, it was a
receipt.
Then
he gives him a big, and then Brock comes back and punches him twice in the head with almost reflexively.
Yeah. And
like,
then Strowman, I remember being next to the ropes on all fours and looks over at Brock and no, he says, "Are we done?"
Yeah.
Just the camera in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He knew Brock. He pissed off Brock. Well, that's the scariest thing about Brock. He's in there with a guy the size of Strowman, and Strowman knees him in the head, and Brock just stands up and just ding, ding, right on Strowman, right on his temple, and Strowman was moving. Like, that's how scary Brock is.
Yeah,
is he was just pinpoint accuracy, dung dung, on the side of Strowman's head, and Strowman just his legs just went just like spaghetti immediately. Like, that's how dangerous Brock is. He almost dropped this horse of a man, and that was like a love tap. He wasn't really striking him. That was just like a wake up, kid, kind of thing. Wow.
Brock's matches in college, his speed was always his thing. It was his closing speed and his approach speed, and the same thing in UFC when he was fighting Couture and those other guys. They would always comment on his ability to just. Like that, just
0 to 60.
Right.
Yeah,
you're on the ground. He's got you done. You're done.
Yeah. You want to see? Actually, the scariest moment I ever saw with Brock Lesnar was I think it was just like a random Raw, and it was when it was right after Seth stole his championship, and he was like coming for Seth, and Seth runs towards the barricade and like hops over the barricade, like uses his arms and kind of swings his legs over and keeps running. Brock's coming after him, hurdles the damn barricade. Hurdles it, clears it by a few inches, full speed, never breaks a stride. When a man the size of Brock Lesnar clears a barricade coming after you and wants to kill you, just drop to the ground, shit your pants, you're dead. Like, I saw that and I was just like, oh God, no!
I'm out in the wilderness and there's a giant grizzly bear and I'm not even going to try and run. That's what it looked like. I'm just going to say my last rites and be like, all right, I guess that's it. Let's go.
Was it. Like when I finally saw The Revenant and they saw Leonardo DiCaprio basically just get, butt raped by this bear.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Brock chasing down Seth. Run, Seth, run! He's coming for you. What was the question? Matches.
Right.
Matches that have improved with time.
And we got to go. Dinner's waiting on me.
All right. Well, I think we gave a few.
Got a few there. Last but certainly not least, Marshall always sneaks it in on me at the last minute. I was literally sending in the questions when you snuck that one in on me. But well done.
You made it.
Evening, fellas. Last night, I found myself cheering on AJ like I did when I was in high school, and not often enough does a wrestling match get me that excited. What match or moment in your adult life has taken you back where you forgot about the logistics of wrestling and cheer on something or someone like you did when you were a kid? Love you, fellas. And
mark out moments. Mark out moments. Yes. Thank you, Marshall. Mark out moments. Like when you forget that it's a show, when you forget that it's kayfabe, you just I mean, it brought it up a couple times on the show. WrestleMania 31 with Seth cashing in. I lost my damn mind. My roof came off. Kenta turning on Shibata. We talked about that earlier. Like, I wanted to kill him every time Stephanie McMahon opens her damn mouth. But we're talking about happy moments.
What match or moment in your adult life has taken you back where you forgot about the logistics and cheer on something or someone like you did when you were a kid?
Going to Lucha Underground and seeing Ricochet face Rey Mysterio. When I saw that live, you could have picked me off the ceiling.
Pentagon throwing Jeff Cobb into us. We were on the front row of one of those tapings, and Pentagon, I think it was Pentagon, threw Jeff Cobb into us.
I
don't remember who it was.
Was it Cobb or was it?
Sorry, no, it wasn't. It wasn't Matanza.
It wasn't Matanza. It was it might have been Cage. It was he threw someone big at us. Yeah. we were scrambling to get away from the seats, but like I think I was too concentrating on trying to save my life to mark out over it. I definitely marked out over Ray. You can actually go back and watch the season 2 finale of Lucha Underground and see me in the crowd marking out for Ray. Like they actually cut to me in the crowd, me marking out for Ray, starting a "Thank You, Ray" chant. Lost my mind for that match. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of when. So. You know what it was? you've got me thinking about Lucha Underground. It was the twist at the end of season 1 with Vampiro. That was a big one for me. And I just went,
that was great.
What? Oh my God. Seriously?
It's the higher power
God.
thing done right. It's like, that's what the Vince twist should have been. It's what it should have been.
Oh,
yeah.
That was one of the moments. I'm struggling to find one of those in WWE in the last decade.
Like
Daniel
marked out
Daniel
happy or
Bryan
just
winning both belts
30.
at
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
After everything the Authority had put him through, the gauntlet of evolution that he had run through, the Occupy Raw, like everything talk about a babyface fighting upward.
Winning two belts, I gotta say Naito. I got choked up when Naito won, man. I legit did. When he busted out, actually, the moment was when he busted out the Stardust Press. When he busted out his old finishing move to finish off Okada, was when I lost it. That's when I lost it. Totally reverted to being a kid. They totally got me. Yeah. I'm a put my flag on that one.
Yeah. Well, there we go, guys.
Oh, Kofi Mania, dude. Kofi Mania was a good one too.
Oh, that was so good.
That was a really good one.
WrestleMania as a whole, and not to take anything away from Kofi, but that WrestleMania, if you guys remember, all the faces won. Becky won, Seth won, Kofi won.
Yeah, make him happy.
It was fantastic.
And Becky won too, I believe, in that one.
I said Becky.
Oh, did you? Oh, I didn't hear it.
There you go. That was Becky 2 belts.
Yep.
Well, there we go, guys. Thank you very much, patrons, phenomenal ones, for always being phenomenal. Sending us these great questions in every single week. We love you guys for it. If you'd like to send yours in, patreon.com/BWO is the place to do that. We do this every Saturday after our main show, so you get to do it 4 times a month at least. I think sometimes we have 5 Saturdays.
Yeah, I think we're going to have 5
twice
this
year.
month.
But, so for $5 a month, $5 a month, you get to ask your questions every single week. So thank you guys all for doing that, plus many more bonus episodes, Skype calls, all kinds of good stuff over at patreon.com/BWO, BWOpodcast.com. You guys know where to find all of our stuff. Make sure you're in the Discord for tomorrow night, because we will be having a live chat all throughout Backlash. God, I am tired. Backlash tomorrow night, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, for the kickoff show. We will be doing the watch party over on Facebook, but a lot of people also congregate in the Discord. Make sure you find us over on Facebook, get into the Discord, like our page, all that good stuff. But my name is Nick Howell. You can find me on Twitter at DataCenterDude.
And I am Sir Ian Dangerous. You can find me on Twitter at Sir Ian Dangerous.
But by God, would somebody stop the damn match?
This show is part of the Orbital Jigsaw Network. For more episodes, subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher Radio. For details and show notes from each episode, check us out, orbitaljigsaw.com.